everyone, and welcome back to The Wave. My name is Morgan.
And I'm Kate. We're so excited to get today's episode started.
But before we go any further, let's meet Otlo.
My name is Preston Bearden, and I'm from Chattanooga, Tennessee. I would put my music in bedroom pop genre, but it's a little bit more lo-fi sounding. Some of my biggest inspirations are definitely like Yacht Club and Bane's World, like those artists like that. When I was in high school, I started I used Audacity, but before that, I dabbled in like piano. But I ended up, when I was little, I took piano classes and I ended up quitting. But I'm back. I remember I was almost done with an album, and then I had some, personal thing go on. I was like, this album's not done yet. I got to include this in there. And so if I'm always, sometimes it's like there's not really a meaning behind it, but most of the time I kind of just start writing on like a little notepad, and then it just kind of comes from there. My favorite is probably Live at Lunch. I got to do like an hour set with my friend Dylan and Carlos, and that was a great experience. It was terrifying, but I loved it a lot. I've always said my long-term goal is I don't want to be really anything big. Basically, I just want to live a life doing what I love, and I want to make that like sustainable. Definitely.
I'm so excited to see him perform.
Me too. But before that, let's get you up to date on this week's music news.
Louis Tomlinson is the latest artist to hit the big screen. The One Direction star will be taking fans on a journey through his music with all of those voices. Tomlinson said that the goal was to ditch the showing of a perfect life of a celebrity and offer a more genuine point of view of his musical journey. The documentary is set to release in theaters worldwide on March 22nd, and you can find a showing near you and buy your tickets at allofthesevoices.com.
A congratulations is in order for The Weeknd. Singer Abel Tesfaye, otherwise known as The Weeknd, has become the first artist in Spotify history to reach 100 million monthly listeners. For context of how impressive this milestone is, other major artists trail by tens of millions monthly listeners. The announcement follows the release of the remix version of The Weeknd song Die For You featuring Ariana Grande. Congrats!
That's it for this week's music news.
Before we sit down with Otlo, we wanted to tell you about some songs we've been listening to.
That's right. This is for your playlist. So, Morgan, I need to know, what have you been listening to?
Well, I have been listening to the Aces since you introduced them to me, and they just released a new song. It's called Always Get This Way, I believe.
Absolutely.
And I really love it. And then also I've been listening to Stuck, and that's been in my head a lot. But yeah, I'd never heard of them before, but since you introduced them, I was like, wow, I love it.
We love a good recommendation.
Yeah.
Well, I have also been loving the Aces recently. They've been on repeat for me, but Sabrina Carpenter's new album.
Yes.
So good.
I
I seriously, Bad for Business, especially, that one has just been like, it's like the song that I listen to when I'm walking to class.
Really?
And I just need a good hype song. Like, it's that one
I love
for
that.
sure.
Nonsense.
But
too,
have you
is
been
a hype
listening?
song.
Yes.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness.
Is there anything else you've been listening to?
Let's see. I've been listening to Fleetwood Mac a lot. It's specifically Silver Springs, but it's from a specific album. So they have a live album, and it's called The Dance. And the live album is how I was introduced to them. My parents were watching it one day, and it's just, I recommend the album. It's just, they sound really well, and it's just,
Nothing
specifically that
live
version.
albums will always hit so much better
know, I
too. So
love
and
it.
Fleetwood Mac, of
Yes.
course, like
Literally my favorite band.
you can't go wrong. Yeah, of course. So I also have been loving Charlotte Sands, just all of her music.
Gosh.
I love her so much, but like Tantrum by her is just always on repeat for me.
Yeah.
Like it's just such a good hype song.
I love that.
And I just can't get enough of it. Thanks for listening to this week's For Your Playlist, and we hope that you found some music you like. And we'll be right back with Otlo.
And we are back with Otlo.
We're so excited to have you on the show tonight.
Thank you for having me. This is wonderful.
Of course. So your first name is Preston, correct?
Yes.
So where did Otlo come from?
Otlo came from, at first, like, I just thought it sounded cool. Like, I wanted a good artist name. But for me, it's like it's an acronym because the whole music thing, it's like I want to. It's all about nostalgia and it stands for only time lies onward. So like I'm looking towards the future, but like I'm making my music about the past. If that makes any sort of sense at all.
Yeah, that's really
Yeah.
cool. I love that. So kind of diving into like the songwriting process, I noticed that you kind of do a lot of producing and songwriting. So I guess, do you prefer the production side of the songwriting process or the writing?
Absolutely, the production, 100%. Yeah.
Love that.
So why exactly did you choose like the genre that you did? I feel like it's such a like specific one. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I chose the genre because originally I started out doing like emo rap.
Oh, love
Yeah,
that.
and so I learned quickly through that like I wanted to choose a genre that best reflected me and like my energy, and I wanted to be as genuine as possible, and that was like a big thing for me. And I just felt like that sound was the best way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Whenever you say that you wanted like it to show through your music, how do you think your personality is able to show through your music?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think my personality, like, whenever I perform, like my vocals are usually pretty soft, and I usually sing in like a higher pitch, and I think a lot of that is, me showing my softer side. Like I want to, embrace, who I really am on like the inside, because like I might kind of like have a straight face and like act a certain way, but like really like I'm kind of soft.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah.
That's amazing. Kind of going into like where you're from. You're from Chattanooga, correct?
Yes.
Which I think is really cool because like I feel like Chattanooga is kind of becoming a new realm for music. So like, do you think where you're from has anything to do with your music influence?
I think maybe not so much Chattanooga, but being in this general area for sure. Like I like when I was younger, like I went to like the Country Music Museum in Nashville. So yeah, and there's a lot of when I've always been like musically like curious, being little. So yeah, I think and plus Chattanooga, it's like a beautiful place. So
I agree.
it helps a lot like when writing and stuff too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like having like the visuals.
So with your music process, with like lo-fi, I feel like there's always so many different instruments. Like what all instruments do you play and like incorporate in your music?
Okay, I don't play. I'm good with piano. I'm good with the keys, but the people that help me perform, like they're such a blessing because like I make all this stuff on my computer, so I'm not necessarily like literate in those instruments. So
Right.
my instrument, it really is like the computer, and
That's so cool
yeah,
though.
and like putting in notes, one by one.
I love that.
Yeah.
So you just gotta pick what instruments you want digitally and just form it all like that.
And it's super cool, like seeing that translated into like real instruments.
I bet. I bet that is a very like different
it is cool.
experience. That's neat.
That makes sense why you
Yeah.
like the production side of it.
Yeah,
You probably have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So did you have any, I know you mentioned like you pull from a lot of nostalgic feelings and stuff. Was there any like direct experience that happened that brought on your song But a Dream?
Yes, definitely. I was thinking about when I was making that song, I was thinking about going off to pursue like bigger things, and I was looking at all these old pictures of me when I was little, and I was like, man, I don't remember any of that, but like it definitely was a nice, like, sometimes I wish I could remember more of it and like really take it all in, because like now it's like it's great like being growing up, and like, but there's more responsibility that comes with that. So with that song, I was definitely thinking like I want to go back to that, but also like it's also not what it seems, like the lyrics say, it's not what it seems like. Nostalgia can be a little it can trick you sometimes,
Yeah.
for sure.
It's kind of blurred because it's like you can remember it, but not quite
Yeah.
all of it.
And it might not be as good as how you remembered it, too.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah, great
very
question.
cool.
Thank you.
No, that's such a cool way to do a song too. Well, thank you so much for letting us talk to you about your music.
Awesome. Thank you.
And can you let everyone know where they can like follow you on social media after the show and all that good stuff?
Yeah, so my Instagram is Otlo Music, OTLO Music, and you can find me on there, and it's the same for every other social media.
All right.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Well, we'll be right back with Otlo's performance.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of The Wave. We'll see you next week.
As always, be sure to check out our Instagram every Wednesday for new episodes. And to close out this episode, Otlo.
I see those flashing lights shine down on me. Not a word to be said that they won't keep. If I go away, there's nothing behind me, no better place than one that I know. It's but a dream, a lovely illusion. It's not what it seems. I see a better life. I fear it's no more. Not a worthier breath to take, or so it seems to be. If I go away, there's nothing behind me, no better place than one that I know. It's but a dream, a lovely illusion. It's not what it seems. If I go away, there's nothing behind me, no better place than one that I know. It's but a dream, a lovely illusion. It's not what it seems.
Voila.